let's get into the CFL, Max. I'm going to speed through these. There are so many signings in CFL free agency today.
There was?
Oh, yeah. It was a big day.
I think I saw 4.
Oh, man. You missed
on my Twitter timeline.
You missed about 40. So there's a lot of them. So let's start.
Interesting week to have your free agency, though. You know, like if you want like it to be headline news and stuff like that.
Right, Super Bowl week.
Interesting week. Maybe could have pushed it 1 week. I don't know.
Pretty much every year.
Just thoughts from a marketing perspective.
Pretty much every year that's this way, because you have to remember their spring camp starts in not that long. So like, April, May. So they want to get all that stuff out of the way and get some signings going.
There's always a week of wiggle room there.
Yeah, for sure. But let's look at some of the signings. Now, this one came down just before the show kicked off. Trevor Harris, veteran quarterback, re-signs in Montreal. This was one that not a lot of people saw coming, Max, because Vernon Adams is there. Vernon Adams Jr. Is in Montreal already. Trevor Harris got traded there because VA was hurt. He played there for the last little bit of the season, but he doesn't have any chance he could beat out Vernon Adams, but I doubt it. No offense to Trevor Harris, but Vernon Adams is kind of the face of that franchise. So you get Trevor Harris re-signed in Montreal. He's going to be the backup there. He'll push for the starting spot, and he's going to be one of those guys all year long, Max. That's just going to be who's going to trade for Trevor Harris, because somebody might need some quarterback insurance. So Montreal, at the very least, gets a trade chip there for them. And as we scroll through, the big one today, Max, Andrew Harris, the running back from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, signs with the Toronto Argonauts. And apparently, Pinball Clemens, the legendary running back, was a big reason that Andrew flipped, because a lot of people just thought, hey, he'll go back to Winnipeg. He's a legend there. He'll go back. But he went to Toronto. It kind of shook up the league a little bit. A lot of people were surprised. So Andrew Harris he's 35, Max. He's not a spring chicken anymore. He's been around the league now for quite some time. He's always been productive. And the Argos love making splashes, and they weren't done yet because they also signed Jagarrett Davis, one of the best defensive ends in the entire league. He's been a force, 42 sacks in his last 75 games. He's been in the Grey Cup, Max, every single year in the last 5 years. His team has made at least an appearance.
He's the Pat Maroon of the CFL.
Absolutely.
Sign this guy and you're going to the ship.
2 huge splashes for the Argonauts coming into a big day for them. We look at the Riders. They signed Derek Moncrief. He was in the NFL, spending some time with your beloved Blue and Gold, Max. He came back last year and played in Edmonton, but they just got him back in Saskatchewan. Fun little insider fact, his girlfriend and or potentially his wife, I don't know if they got married yet, is from here in Regina, so that probably
I saw the promo video of him checking it. I was like, okay. That's the type of marketing the CFL needs to do for every single guy. That was awesome. Awesome work by the Riders.
Good point. So anyways, not only that, the Riders also signed Larry Dean, a linebacker, really impactful linebacker over his career, but he didn't play last year, so they brought him back. And they also signed the leading tackler from last season from the Calgary Stampeders, linebacker Darnell Sankey. So not only do they have Moncrief coming, they also have Sankey, they also have Dean, and they have Micah Tights, who is one of the better Canadian linebackers.
Still battling that cold there, eh, bud?
Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, Max.
Just wash that down.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I'm going to have to cough.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize. It's fine. Everybody gets sick. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right. So from what I can speak to, this guy looks real good. It's a good thing I hear to lead the league in tackles, especially when you play football. Yeah. That's a good thing. All right. Producer Clark, round it up.
I did too much talking there in a short period of time. I'm getting too excited. Too worked up.
If anybody heard that, I nailed that.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Max. The big one, now I say big one because literally $300,000, the highest paid non-quarterback in the entire league. The Edmonton Elks and Chris Jones made a big splash, bringing in wide receiver Kenny Lawler, who was with the Blue Bombers the last couple of seasons, big play wide receiver. He's going to the Edmonton Elks, and he is, like I said, the highest paid non-quarterback in the entire league. But the Elks weren't done there yet. They also brought in...
That's a tough one for Durs fans.
Yeah, Ed Gainey, longtime rider, big fan favorite, and he is gone. I think from my understanding, he didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay with the Riders. He has obviously roots here. He's been here for several years. He was kind of a leader on the team. I guess the Riders didn't want to pay his bill and just said, sorry, we got to go a different direction. So Ed Gainey going to the Elks with Chris Jones. who brought him to Saskatchewan in the first place. This one was rumored to be coming to Saskatchewan, but stayed in Hamilton. This is a big deal because not only did Hamilton keep Ted Laurent, but they also kept Dylan Wynn, another really big interior defensive lineman. And Max, they brought in Micah Johnson. I didn't put the picture up here, but Micah Johnson, former Rough Rider, always a strong force in the middle. So they have one of the best defensive lines, interiors at least. I'm going to be curious to see how they use all those guys. So that'll be interesting. The Stampeders sign our boy Sean Lemon. He stays with the Stampeders. And I just love this quote more than anything, Max. When life hands you lemons, pour up a tall glass for every quarterback in the league. I love Sean Lemon. He's been on, I've talked to him several times, obviously, with the Rod Peterson show. He's just a great dude. He's been one of those guys who continuously, he's a journeyman. He travels all over the league constantly. And I'm just kind of glad for him that he gets to stay in Calgary another year because he was there last year. He did pretty well, and he's going to probably be another impactful player in Calgary.
My biggest takeaway from this announcement is why isn't Dunk running the social media for the entire league?
Long story.
I would like to know that, please and thank you.
He should be. Oh, trust me.
If Randy could maybe justify that one for me, because that's a talented dude that has probably one of, if not the most intimate knowledge bases of the entire league. And like stuff like this, I don't know. You look at it from copywriting, captions down, like right. That's exactly what your league needs. Literally, exactly what your league needs. Mm-hmm. Maybe throw a lemon emoji in there, Justin. That's the only thing. Maybe one
lemon emoji. You're
just
right.
a lemon emoji. That's about it. Other than that, it's perfect.
You know, it's funny though, Max. Obviously, shout out to Farhan Lalji, shout out to Dave Naylor,
Matthew Shinetti.
Matthew Shinetti, sure. There's local insiders, in every market and everything, obviously. Mm-hmm. Justin Dunk is an independent insider that the league just doesn't give the time of day to. And I don't want to tell Justin's story. I'll let him do that.
Absolutely. It's ludicrous.
It's ridiculous.
That's called stepping on your own toe is what that is.
He played university football in Canada. He knows the league inside and out. He has contacts all around the league. And,
genuinely cares about it as well, too, which again is, I'm certainly not going to disparage any sort of care level. There's a lot of people across this great country that love the CFL, but what you need talented people like this with a drive to put out this type of content about your league, right? And this is just off of a caption, but obviously you look at 3 Down Nation and the things that he does on a day-to-day basis for the CFL without even being really exclusively partnered with him. This is a guy that needs to be drawing a check for the work that he does. And I guarantee you, if
from the CFL specifically.
From the CFL, sorry. Yes.
Anyways, we can, that's another show. We'll be talking about that.
Justin, grab Justin. Let's get him.
We got to get Justin on. Yeah. Well, I'm sure he'll want to talk about that. But John Hodge's cohort says that the Ottawa Red Blacks have brought in Darwin Adams, another huge receiver brought into Ottawa. They're making some changes. They brought in Jeremiah Masoli. I don't think I have a picture of that. Obviously, that's probably just as big, if not big.
Oh, I did see that one. I did see that one. Just search Masoli real quick. He's got a really good one, actually.
His picture?
Yeah. He's got a really good one.
He did a really good job. I think right on his page, right?
Yeah. Scroll down just a touch there. That. Yeah, great. Looks solid.
That's a nice photo. I like that they already got those jersey swaps are really good too.
The people that can do those, man, I've YouTubed hours and hours how to do that stuff. All the power to those people, man. I'm trying to get better at it. It is a lot tougher work than people give it credit for to just swap that stuff out.
I've tried it a couple times, and it is, man, is it difficult. You got to put so much time.
It's a labor of love.
Yeah. As we keep going, Willie Powell, Willie P, is going back to Ottawa where he won a Super Bowl, a Grey Cup. Then he came to Saskatchewan, played 2 seasons here, did very well. He's going back to Ottawa. So another big addition for Ottawa, who I think won free agency day one. I know it's free agency day one, but they did really well. They brought in some big pieces. Greg Ellingson, friend of the Rod Peterson show, awesome dude, signs in Winnipeg to replace Darwin Adams. So again, it's one of those. You ever see that meme of Charlie Day with all the the board and all the ropes strings going from here to here to here as he's trying to solve a mystery? That's kind of the CFL free agency day one. So, anyways, that kind of wraps it up. Obviously, there was way more than that. I was just trying to get the big ones out of the way. So big day for a lot of teams, some big moves. And John Ohm asks, Brandon Banks sign anywhere yet? Not that I've seen. Brandon Banks is one of the big ones going in to the rest of free agency day 2 and onwards. We'll see what happens with him. I would assume that maybe Ottawa just kind of makes sense, just given his connection to the GM now. For reference, Max Hamilton's assistant GM is now Ottawa's GM. So could make some sense there. But Carlos Legenda, we still have a lot of offseason moves left. The combine, the draft. There's still lots of free agents out there. So there's a lot. And not to only mention that, American free agents, guys just that'll come up out of the NFL or college or whatever.